if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone?
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
Is this safe?
No,
I don't know. Absolutely.
Actually, I hope it's not, because it would be great content if you rolled the car. Oh, there he goes. He's going. There he goes.
Oh,
Come on, we need the
all right.
clicks.
That's right. Come on. Just drive into a tree.
Don't be selfish.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I gotta
Do it
find
for
my.
Josh. He's
Hold
got
on.
a child coming.
Hold on. Right, Dolan needs the clicks.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Speaking of that, can we talk about our new sponsor?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And they're called Basil's.
Basil's, yes.
Where are they?
They are very close to me. So they have been
Shocking.
they've become an addiction of mine during the coronavirus pandemic.
Addiction how? Do they
He
sell
goes there every
crack?
day twice.
Meaning I lie to my wife at how many times I eat there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's part of an addiction, Josh, and that's you know what? You're on the road to recovery because you're admitting that you're hurting and lying to people that are close to you about it.
Wow. Sound like you know about that, Mike.
No, I just watched all of Loudermilk. So
Oh,
good that
love
you're-
that.
you're-
Love that.
I know, isn't that such a great show? I finally got
So
to sit
good.
down and binge the whole thing. And everybody should do it because the shows are only like 20 minutes to a half hour long, and they're packed with some of the most clever comedy I've ever seen. Our friend Jackie Flynn, who we had on the show about it, is amazing. One of the best things about that show is Jackie Flynn explaining why he can't walk a straight line to the cops. You remember that?
Right.
Because of the orbit.
The world's turning at like 17,000 miles an hour, and then we're going around the sun at 60,000 miles an hour, and meanwhile the galaxy's moving around at 500,000 miles an hour. So there's no way I can walk a straight line. I was like, that's
Right.
the best. That's the best
So
excuse I've ever. And he delivered it so well. It was fantastic. That's
The
such a great
episode
show.
started that way. The episode started with that scene.
Yeah, it's a great show. Ron Livingston is amazing.
Oh, he's so
And,
good. I
the
feel
guy
so much like him.
The guy who plays Cutter, he wasn't in the second season too much. The big black dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
That
He used to train
kidnapped somebody.
police. Yeah, he kidnaps the guy who was going there for his boss.
Yep.
And had to like do it for his boss to just get the paper signed, and like he kidnapped him, and his comatose mother out there in the trailer, and then oh man, such a great show.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
an
think
alcoholic.
they're-
I've heard that before, buddy.
Right.
Aren't they dropping season 3 like this week or next week of
Are they
of that
really?
show?
Is it that soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I asked Jackie afterwards, I said, so how did it go? Did Amazon pay for the third? So the third was already recorded. The third season was already recorded and done. And now they're going to drop it on Amazon. So I would imagine based on the downloads of the first 2 seasons and season 3, then Amazon Prime will determine, okay, is this worth picking up? I fucking hope they do, because that thing is so
Yeah.
well written.
I miss
It's so
those
funny.
people. I'm not someone who rewatches a series. I've only done that with Breaking Bad.
Yep.
And maybe Band of Brothers, I think, is the only other one that I rewatched. And it's like I want to see new ones, but I got to go back because I miss the people. It's like I'm going to the group. It's like I'm in
Yes.
the
Yeah,
group.
who's Ron's roommate? That actor, Adam Sasso, is it?
Will Sasso.
Will Sasso, he's
brilliant.
amazing.
He's brilliant in it. He's,
Wow,
he's
so
delivery
funny.
and everything. And that, and then who I love is Loudermilk's father.
Oh my
Is-
God.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best television characters I've ever seen
Yes.
ever.
Oh my God.
And he not only he plays like this super charming, fast talking, complete asshole who all he wants to do is fuck. And he does. And it's so funny because you are just like his victims. I want to call them victims. You're just like his victims. You're so charmed by him. You're like, this guy's awesome. And then he's like, whoa, that was a dick move. Oh, but that was cool. And you just
When
don't know.
him and Ron, what's Ron's character? Loudermilk, sorry. When him and Loudermilk are sitting at the table and Loudermilk goes to the bathroom because they get in the fight, and he coaxes the waitress, and by the time Loudermilk gets back, she's fucking crying. Tell daddy all your stories. Then takes her home and fucks her in his bed while he's next to them.
Wakes up fucking her right next to him in his bed. Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away, but that's a major
it's so
part.
Good. And that woman, that woman ends up playing a major part in his life, which is fantastic also. Which is
we won't give everything away.
Right. But it's so
Go
good.
watch it. Amazon Prime.
Everybody should watch it and definitely support our buddy Jackie.
It made me want to go to AA. Like I wanted to go see Brian Regan.
It's like AA's not this funny.
Oh, dude, Brian Regan is so fucking good in that show.
I miscounted my kids. I'm sorry.
I know.
Right?
So
I thought you had 8 kids. 10. I miscounted 2. Sorry.
And I can say this because it was in the trailer. He shows up with a dart in his head. You know, that scene at the bar where they go and they want to kick whoever's ass, put a dart in his head, and then the guy explains to him what went on, and then the new guy goes and he punches the bar. I love New Guy also. He is so good.
And they show his bones breaking.
Yeah, the best thing is I broke my legs in a sandbox when I was in 3rd grade. I had to go to school in a wagon. They called me Angles for 6 months. That is one of the best fucking lines ever. That is such a well-written show, man. It's so good.
I really hope that I hope that Amazon picks that up for season 4 and beyond, because that is really a good, funny show. A lot of local people too.
Yeah. And I feel like if it does get picked up again, I feel like that coffee shop that's also a record store, I feel like Jackie should tell Peter Farley that, Mike Shue, you need to play a part working in that store, because that has you written all over it.
The only thing I'd change, I always had a dream, like when I win Powerball, I'm going to open a record store / fried food, Chinese, like just poo-poo platters. Right? So it's like record store, poo-poo platters, maybe, some private stripper rooms in the back.
No.
You got to make your money. You got to really make money. You're not going to do it on vinyl alone.
Hey, listen, strippers need love too. You know that.
Right. Yeah. Well, they need love so they could make their way through pharmaceutical college. So.
They're fine. Hey, let's talk about the fucking big giant fucking elephant in the room. The 3 of us were at opening day at Fenway Park last week.
When was that?
I don't remember that.
That wasn't you?
Was I there?
Isaiah's confusing his dreams with real life again.
I took an Asian guy and a skinny kid. That wasn't you?
Are the Sox even playing? Oh, yeah, they are. They shit their bed first, and then they scored all the runs they're going to score for the rest of the season in 2 games, and then everything's going to suck, and they're end up in last place again. That's right. I forgot about that.
It was fucking awesome to go to Fenway Park. That's all I know.
It was a little chilly.
I don't care if they sucked out loud. Being in Fenway Park was just, I was near tears. When I walked, I went through the metal detector. First thing I did, I hit the sausage guy on Lansdowne Street, got a sausage, and then I went and I went through did the metal detector thing, scanned the ticket, walked in the door. As soon as I saw that brick inside, I started welling up. It all hit me at once. It was like, first of all, I'm back in Fenway Park. It's been so long. I love that.
Right.
This is the cathedral of baseball. And then, oh, hey, baby, how was school?
I hate my English teacher. I just want to announce that right now.
And the dog.
Asshole.
Wow.
He mistook me for another Asian student.
Oh!
I didn't like her. Let's start there.
Yeah.
She is 4'11".
Yeah. You don't look like
she
anybody.
has a bob
for sure.
and bangs. And I want to punch.
Okay.
Wow.
Go tell the Chloe Shue podcast, because I don't. All right. So
listen. Stop Asian hate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it was, and plus, nobody's been to a big event in a long time. And
it felt weird. I was like, where?
Yeah, it's only
like we never left, but it's also been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And then walking up and seeing the field, I just lost it. Isaiah, you saw me. I was kind of like, I was out of it.
Dude, when I got there around noon, you got there around 12:31. I just sat there. I just sat there looking at it going, first of all, haven't been to the cathedral in a year, whatever. And there's only 4,700 people in here. People are all being good with masks, but it was definitely emotional. I was like, wow, I've come to this place so many times. This is historic. The national anthem did it for me. I mean, that woman that sang the national anthem and that flyover.
Yeah. What was her name? She's from Springfield.
I always well up anyway, and I was just like, I am bawling like a child. When is Mike gonna punch me in the arm? And you were crying too.
I was like, you were like, brother, how's it going? I'm like, I just don't feel like
I'd already been there for an hour,
Yeah.
so I kind of it was like steps. I'd already been through it because I was numb. And then by the time Mike got there, I'm like, yeah, baseball. He's like, I need a minute.
Yeah, I did. I needed a minute, and then I needed a beer and 4 dogs. And
Yes!
then it's just,
And my
it was such a
favorite
great
part
experience.
of like it was also emotional for the players too, because in like I don't think it was like the top of the first, but it was probably in the first or second inning that people started chanting "Let's go Red Sox," and I could see like the players like, what?
Yeah, you can see 'em look like there's people out there, right?
Yeah, they were like, oh my God, I forgot about
shutouts.
that.
Yeah.
Here's the message for the Red Sox though. You could turn that fucking fake crowd sound.
That was
off.
weird.
We're
Yeah,
there.
play it on TV, but you don't have to play it in the park.
I know, why are they
We didn't
playing
need
it
to
for
do
the?
that. Yeah, why are you playing it in the park? It's kind
They
of like
forgot.
okay,
They forgot they let people in.
I'm yelling to talk to you guys, and I'm like, I wouldn't have to do this if they just stopped pumping the crowd noise through the PA like it was friggin' AC/DC.
I know it's like a white noise machine for a baby.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It was that. I agree, Isaiah. They should have just axed that part.
I think the point when it became real, because obviously we went through, sitting there, then you got there. Josh, shocking, showed up late. I put a picture up on Instagram, and everyone's like, "Where's Josh?" I'm like, "I don't know. He's not fucking here yet." And then you
Guys
and
got
then
a
you left
job,
early.
man.
What the fuck? We'll talk about that later. But I think it became real when like the first pitch, you've heard the crack of the bat, and then it quickly goes from emotional to hit the fucking ball. You fucking suck.
It's amazing how all of those amazingly deep, almost spiritual feelings just vacate your soul, and you become that wretched, miserable fuck of a Red Sox fan where the glass is nowhere. It's just almost empty all the time. It's just like
hit the ball, you fucking
that
bitch.
first pitch, and it was a strike. I'm like, this is going to be the best season ever. By the third inning, I'm like, what? Why can't you guys hit the ball? You need a tee? I'll go.
Do you all have Corona currently?
I'm going to grab a tee for you guys. It looks like you need a tee. Okay.
When we yell at the up, you always got to go back to fucking. Notice how. Remember when you yell at ups? Come on, Blue. They don't even wear blue anymore. We're still calling them Blue. What are you fucking blind up? Let's go, Blue.
What was great about having only 4,500? Well, there was a couple of things. There was only 4,500 people left in. First of all, there were no lines for anything. Like I breezed into the bathroom and got right out, and then got right into.
And there's only 3 urinals open. There's still no line.
Beer line, right? It was unbelievably. It's so easy. I've never had such an easy time at Fenway. But what's great is if you yell something, especially, even if you were up top, if you yell something, they could probably hear you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They definitely could, especially with how close we were. Like I could hear the conversations that the Orioles were having, and I was like, "You could really get in their head right now."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Your team
it was
fucking
great.
sucks.
It was,
you heard me? Shit.
It was beautiful. The flyover was great. I thought it was cool. They included a tanker plane because those guys, those guys keep us running, just like the guys in the fighter jets. They're up there.
Yep.
Making sure they're taking care of us. And I love the guy when I posted a little video of the flyover, which was just beautiful because it was a beautiful day. And I love the guy who commented and said, wow, that's a great use of taxpayer dollars, don't you think?
There's always.
Right.
Fuck you.
Okay. Well, how much does it cost to have those 3 jets fly over? Okay. Because it takes the Vermont guy probably 2 minutes at Mach 9,000 to get back to his base in Vermont. Right. So, so let's weigh the cost there. Okay. How much do you think that costs to get the planes together, to burn the fuel, the crews, that whole thing? And then how much does it cost to send them to some place like, I don't know, Iraq?
Right.
Yeah. Also, it's the first flyover in over a year.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, it's
what? Worth it.
It boosts the morale of the public.
Right.
Yeah. So it was the first flyover in a year, and that's also how I justified paying $65 for parking. I was like, I'm not parking here. And I was like,
dude, you're in
sporting event. It's probably going to be
Holliston, right?
Yeah.
Just go to the commuter rail in Framingham.
I don't want to
Right?
lie, but
Or
I had to get
actually-
out of there too. I don't want to have to wait.
Dude, I was in and out. The train station's right there. I got on the train here and I was stepped off. I had a sausage in my hand in 5 minutes.
If I had 15 minutes to breathe, I probably would have done that.
I
But
was surprised you showed up.
working.
I really was surprised you showed up because you got there late and then you had to call your doctor in the first inning and then you had to leave in the fourth inning. I'm like, why'd you even come here? What the fuck?
because I wanted to do something. And it's been like a year of nothing. Everything happened that day. I had already been to Boston that day. I won't get into why, but I was already in Boston. And then I came back and then I went to Boston and then came back. And then while I was at Fenway, I had a doctor's appointment in the hallway.
I was like, wait, what the fuck? He's like, I gotta call my doctor. I'm like, you're at the home opener. What is your doctor gonna tell you?
But you're
on
such a
opening day?
goldfish. I told you the night before. I was like, yes, but I have a doctor's appointment. And then you were like, cancel it.
Did
I was
you
like,
do the appointment on FaceTime, and did you give yourself your own prostate exam? Like,
I did. They coached me through it.
Did you feel any polyps in your asshole?
And they were like, no, I didn't know how to spell that, so I didn't know how to look it up to figure out.
Do I have a nub in my asshole? I'm sorry, what?
Also, that's more of your age group for doctor's appointments.
Hey,
not
listen,
me.
my asshole's clean, buddy. Let's go. And the show is over.
Keep your hands on the wheel.
10-2,
lane
baby.
are you in?
10-2.
Well, that was a great time. Thanks for the tickets, Isaiah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you.
I was
Awesome.
so they fell in my lap. One of my vendors that I do business with asked me if I wanted to go to opening day the day before. It got postponed. And then he said, hey, these are on Good Friday. I'm like, I'm a Jew. I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, I'll go. No, I just was like, I said, well, you don't want to go on. Why? He goes, I feel weird. I'm like, I don't feel weird taking the tickets from you. So I'll call my friends.
Not at all.
I said, I'm like, wait a minute. God invented fucking baseball. He goes, he did. And God's telling me to send you. I said, well, I'm not going to argue with God. So let's go. I was excited. That was really like fucking cool. Like it's sad that there aren't that many people there, but yet,
I love it.
I mean,
Well, you know what? They may have not been celebrating Good Friday at the park, but it was definitely Passover for Nathan Eovaldi. I mean, they should have kept him past the fifth fucking inning, for crying out loud.
Jesus
The other guy
Christ.
had one hitter going into the ninth, and they
the
pulled
guy's
him.
name was Mean, MEAN, and he had a rape stash. I'm like, who is this fucking guy?
Oh yeah, he had a creepy mustache, but he was on fire. At
He
least
was.
somebody was that day.
See, there's where the masshole kicks in. Like you're a little emotional at the beginning. Everything's good. By the fourth inning, you're like, who's that fucking bitch on the mound? Fuck you. Fuck the Orioles. Fuck Baltimore. You're a piece of shit. It's like, wow. I thought a second ago you were really sad and emotional about COVID and coming back, and you just yelled at that man and called him a cunt. What the fuck?
How
I
about
know,
that
it's-
guy that we were hanging out with there? Steve? Was it Steve?
Who is this?
The usher? Steve?
Oh God, yeah. When we walked around,
what a
I
nice
think
guy.
you had already left, Josh. So a friend of mine's got season tickets. These people that are the ushers and the beer vendors, I mean, they're union. These people have been there for decades, and we haven't seen them in a year. So we walked over to where my friend has season tickets, and Steve was there. Such a fuck guy, so nice. And Peter
What a good
was the
dude.
guy pouring the beers.
Yeah, he was great also. Yeah.
Good people.
I went
Good-
back there and I said, I got a beer, and I went, oh crap. And I turned around because there was no line. So I
Right.
just turned around and went back to him. I said, I got to get another one. My buddy's going to kill me. He's like, oh yeah. All right. That's good. We don't want you getting killed today. You know,
No,
like a
you're not
friggin'
getting Isaiah beer. How dare you?
Yeah. I wasn't thinking. I was so overwhelmed.
It was
and then you
definitely
get to the
overwhelming.
pennant, and all that stuff. It was a beautiful experience. I'm glad we got to do that. Even
It
though
was a
they-
lot to take in. And Boston has kind of changed since, like, I don't even notice the skyline. There's new skyscrapers.
Everywhere.
Like with I'm like, what the hell is that
Yeah.
building? And
They
there's
were
another
starting
one
to
going.
Build those when all this shit was going down. I remember
You know what
seeing.
you should have
the
done? You
beginning-
should have paved the
beginnings-
roads, you motherfucker.
I remember seeing the beginnings of those buildings, like when we went to see Tool.
Right.
They had like the skeleton of those buildings up. And,
Like the
now
one on
that's-
Causeway Street.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And now there's just a swimming pool on Causeway Street. There's a giant skyscraper, and there's a sign that says, "Yes, this is a pool." I'm like, that seems wrong to have a swimming pool on Causeway Street.
Where you got off the purple line, you got off the commuter rail, that Lansdowne exit that they made a few years ago. There were fucking no buildings there last year.
No.
Like it
No.
was the train station, and the Mass Pike.
Mm-hmm.
And then that huge fucking billboard where Tom Brady's UGG thing used to be.
Right.
And I fucking parked my car there. I'm like, okay, Mike's going to get up. What the fuck are all these? Holy shit. Someone built some buildings.
Yeah.
Huge buildings.
Like Brighton Landing too. It's amazing how that place is transformed. The place that, it was like just the New Balance building and the GBH building for a while.
Oh,
and
right.
Yeah.
Bose is in there, the hotel's in there, and New Balance has had that new building up there for a while. The practice area, the practice rink for the Bruins, the Warrior Ice Arena, and the Celtics practice facility.
Yeah, 20 Guest Street used to have such a great view of the city, like in the morning with the sun coming up over the city, and now it's like, are we in Boston?
No, none of that. But
we should do at some point when we can, obviously we're getting there, everyone's getting vaccinated. We should go fucking do a show from the Stockyard in Brighton.
That seems a little too classy for us. I think it should be like the greatest bar.
Let's just go. We can either go to the Lincoln or the Irish Village. That's more our speed.
True.
It's definitely the Lincoln.
Yeah,
my vote.
I miss their nachos.
Yeah, the Lincoln.
No, we need to go to that little deck out back of Lincoln where all the drug deals are happening.
Oh, right. We can just talk to those guys.
Absolutely. Actually, I think the Lincoln closed. The Lincoln.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think right before coronavirus, they decided to close. And I was like, AF
Who
left.
closes before Corona?
The cool kids, AF and Lincoln.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh!
Exactly.
So true.
Hi, I'm Chris, owner of Garage Doors Plus. We specialize in custom garage doors, sales, service, and installation. So whatever you may be looking for, we can help. Financing is available, so if it's time to give your garage and home a lift, call us at Garage Doors Plus, 617-458-1148. You can also find us at gdplus.com. That's gdplus.com. Garage Doors Plus. We open doors when you can't.
Hey, can we talk for a minute? Can I just vent for 5 minutes about Entercom changing their name to Odyssey?
Odyssey, not Audacity?
Yeah.
I was like, that's
it
an editing.
Audacity, because I don't know if you saw the tweet that they put out, but it said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing here, different name, same legendary, sound. And they had like 5 radio station logos up on this tweet, and it was like K-Rock was up there. K-Rock in LA is a legendary station. That's one of the biggest and greatest radio stations in the US. They had a couple, like a country station, they had like an R&B station or whatever. And right there, right next to it, WAAF.
Fuckers.
I didn't see that. What?
It's fucking can you share something on the screen?
This is fucking bullshit. When we got to the game, Josh, Mike asked me if I saw it, and I'm like, I heard of it because I've got clients that I do business with them, and I'm like, the name change means nothing. He goes, wait till you fucking see this. What they did with our WAAF letters, and the fucking station isn't even on the air anymore.
I don't get it. Well, technically, it's not on the air, but it is online.
Oh, it's an HD channel with no fucking human beings playing the same fucking shit we played last year.
Without dated imaging. So why?
Fuck you.
Why would they do that? Who okayed that? That's
nobody's
what I
thinking. These big radio companies don't fucking think anymore. They just make fucking decisions based on their stockholders. Fuck off.
Well, it was the stockholders that wanted to sell us. So why did that make it up there? I don't know if you can bring up the Twitter, Josh. You don't have to kill yourself, but if you can share the tweet, it's just.
Is it on Entercom's Twitter?
No, can you share the screen with Mike?
It's called Odyssey. So it's
I gotta
UDACY or something.
Yeah, and it goes back to opening day was last week, so it was a couple of days before that, because it's nice that you can you're outside your contract and you can fucking share your opinion, because shit like that is fucking bullshit.
That's really it was really
slap in the face.
It was hurtful. I mean, seriously, they a 50-year rock radio station, and why did they have to put that up there?
Because they're still living off the teat. They're living because they don't give a fuck.
Well, then if they don't give a fuck, why wasn't EEI up there?
Because they fucking broke EEI.
Why wasn't Magic up there?
But EEI is still there,
right? So why not put that up there? There were no other sports stations up there.
Again, because the decisions that get made at that level are just fucking asinine.
They're out of touch.
Way out of touch.
They're bean counters. And they don't care. They just look at numbers.
How long have we said that?
Have no idea.
The decades of radio and time that you and I've spent in the business, how many times have we kind of looked up and scratched our head and been like, what Why the fuck did you put that
Right.
person in that time
It's
slot?
people who have no programming experience whatsoever are making programming decisions.
Or
The
like when you put
motherfuckers
the
that run
men's
these
room
companies-
in Boston. And
Right?
Like that. Well, that's because somebody was buddies with one of those guys.
Stop.
But that's what the industry, it doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
you're buddies with them.
Well, that's it.
Total
Your buddies,
bullshit.
you take care of your buddies and you make money for your buddies.
But that was a moment where I really felt for like you and for Carrie and people that have been there for decades. It's like you just fucking did what you did. A year's gone by, and then you put that up there just to slap me the fuck in the face. And you don't even realize you're doing it. You're like, oh, you want to ride the coattails of the legendary WAAF, but you bitches sold the fucking thing to a Christian music station.
That's what I don't get. They put that out on the World Wide Web to show that they still
exist,
had this classic sound, yet that they sold it off.
Awful.
And I don't get why they would use the WAF logo or the brand to do that because
they don't care.
Everything in their power to diminish
Or
it.
they don't know.
If they thought it was worthless, then why throw it up there to prove that it's still something that's to be valued?
But how much of it do you think is like the numbers? Because like I feel like people that made the decision to sell AAF only saw numbers on a computer screen and not the brand and like the history of it. And then it's still owned by the company. So somebody that made that post just saw that like AAF is there and they had no idea what happened to AAF. And they're like, oh, let's include them.
Out of touch.
Because completely 100% out of touch. And Josh saying that to Mike and I, 30 years of doing it in about the same time for Mike. I can count millions of times, I feel like, where you go, now not that I have the genius decision-making fucking skills in the world, but what the fuck are you putting that person there for? Or that it's just like politics. It's like, you motherfuckers are greasing each other's palms for whatever reason you're greasing each other's palms for, but you don't care about the actual people that put their blood, sweat, and fucking tears into something, or the listeners, because you just sold it for 11 million, and that's all that matters. Good night. It's Kayla. Fuck off.
I just want to know who they were trying to impress.
Themselves.
Take it down because I can't find it on their Twitter.
By using the WAF logo on there, who were they?
They're not trying to impress. They're just trying. They're showing a false.
Well, no, come on, Isaiah. Come on. They're using social media. You have to use social media to impress upon someone to get them to at least interact with whatever you're selling. And so why would they put that up there on a worldwide level?
Because they really don't truly give a shit. They want to continue to tell you that they have this when they fucking don't. I mean, I suppose, sure, if I turned on my HD channel, WAF2 or whatever the fuck it is, it's still there, but we're still playing the same bullshit that literally we were fucking playing in February of fucking 20 when you shut us off.
Nobody's touched it.
Nope.
Since then.
Joe, God bless Joe Calgaro, but Joe Calgaro's in California, trying to do what he's got to do.
Yeah. Right. So
it's funny. It's funny you said, can I vent? And I feel like I've been screaming more than you have.
Oh, just forever since I've known you. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the truth. All right. Let me I also want to mention that it's National Beer Day today.
No.
Is that why you have the little boot?
That's well, I have the little boot because I still have things to do today. But
it's a boot nip.
I'm celebrating with my this is really something I really love. My wife got it for me. God bless her. I love when my wife buys me beers because she goes into the liquor store and she has no idea. She's totally clueless about beer. Even though she's worked in a liquor store and stuff, she's more of a wine person. She just looks at the can, and if it looks interesting, she buys it for me, which is a great way for me to try out new beers. She likes
the marketing.
Totally it's like you're dealing with someone who's just looking at the marketing, and this looks but this is local. This is from Wormtown Brewery right here in Worcester. It is a chocolate pecan pie porter. It's more like a porter. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of this kind of stuff. This is really good.
Is it really?
It is really good. And, I'm both a fan of Wormtown and Table Talk pies.
But not pecans.
I love pecans. I love
really.
Pie. That's my second favorite pie ever.
What's your first favorite?
Does the beer taste like a pie?
Well, no, that's why I like it. Because you'll get like these pumpkin pie beers, and it tastes like you're drinking a pumpkin pie, and it's kind of like
It's kind of gross.
It tastes like flavoring. This tastes like a really good. They call it an ale, but it's more like a porter, and it's got kind of a smokiness, but you can still taste the chocolate and the pecan pie in there, and it's really, I just love it.
That just makes it sound like it's heavy and like you can't finish it.
It's not.
I can't finish it. Exactly.
That's why it's good that it doesn't taste like a pie, because that's rich, and you'll have a hard time finishing that. This tastes like a beer with a little bit of those notes in there, and it's really, really good. So,
and that's funny that you said that your wife does that with beer, because when my wife wasn't pregnant and she was still drinking, that's how she would pick what beer she wanted to drink.
Marketing.
She would be like, "Oh, there's a dog on this one. I want this," and she'd try it, and she'd be like, "Oh, this is your beer now." I'm like, "What?"
Right. My wife falls for that. Like, she not falls for it, but she's like, she likes prosecco and certain wines, but she's like, I fall for the marketing. So the prettier the bottle, I'm like, as long as the shit tastes good, who gives a fuck?
Well, as our friend Nick Stevens has told me in the past, beer can art is the new album cover art.
It really is.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. There's a company, a brewing company up in Canada. Oh God, I can't remember. It's kind of like Collective Arts, and they hire like artists to do their beer can. Their beer cans are pretty much collectible.
That's
because
awesome.
They put it out limited, and the artwork on there is done by different artists, and it's just beautiful. It's
and
really
like the craft beer, like in when I would drive home from work at AAF, I would drive through Natick, and I'd stop at Total Wine in Natick, across from the Natick Mall, and they have a huge craft beer selection.
Oh yeah.
And I used to just browse and like look at all the artwork. Like I didn't know what the beers were, but I was like, that thing looks great. And they'd have like insane names. Like even Harpoon is starting to come out with like clown shoes and like space cupcakes and like
right. Yeah. Clown Shoes is actually a brewery, just to let you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Clown Shoes is good.
Clown Shoes, yeah.
Good beer. You know what would be good to see on beer cans? The artist that did all of the Iron Maiden albums.
Well, they have the Iron Maiden beers. So
do they have it? Do they have it with Eddie on the can?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. They have the Trooper ESB, extra special bitters. I think
they're at Total Wine.
Brewed.
I did not know that.
Brewed with the approval of the guys in the band. So it's an official Iron Maiden. They have one of those, and they have another one. It's only one brewery in England that does their beer. It's a small brewery too, and it's very drinkable. Let's just say that. Like
I've never had it, but I remember before the Iron Maiden concert that you went to, somebody came into the AF studio and brought like a ton of Iron Maiden beer.
Yeah, that was those guys. Those guys who went down. They went to see the last show on that tour in, I believe it was Argentina. I think.
Oh, did they?
They all flew down. They're the hardest of the hardcore Maiden fans. Those guys are the best.
Like, do they follow the band around the world?
Yeah, well, they don't follow them around the world, but they travel to the shows they can travel to. You know, they're the kind of guys that'll go and they'll see like 3 shows on the West Coast. You know, they may travel to Europe and see a couple of shows over there, but to see the final show down in South. And that's a goal of mine, to see a big show in South America, because if you go on YouTube and search anybody playing in South America, the shows are massive because they're in those soccer stadiums that hold 2,000 people, and they're always full, and everybody's singing along to every word.
They're huge into metal down in South America.
Oh yeah, big time. And it's like, I'd love to go see like Iron Maiden down there, or even the Ramones would go down there and they would play at like 100,000 person stadium.
Yes.
What's fucked up is they'd come back to the United States and they would play like the Paradise.
Right.
Right.
Like I think Alice Cooper had like he broke some like attendance record in South America, but up here he plays like the Orpheum.
Right. He'll play like the small, the small theaters and stuff like that. So.
Which I don't get why he plays small venues like the Orpheum, because I feel like Alice Cooper needs like a big, like a DCU center or something.
Right.
But he does his volume like he's in a big venue, so you can barely even hear the songs.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw him Halloween night at the Orpheum like 15 years ago. One of the best shows I've ever seen.
Is that when you met him?
No, that was at the Lowell Auditorium.
Oh, that's where I saw him, actually. I saw him at the Lowell Auditorium.
He was great. We went backstage with Eddie Webb, who used to be the afternoon guy. And Eddie Webb has a lot of stories. Eddie Webb has worked in a lot of places and met a lot of people. And sometimes I was like, how much of this is bullshit? And we walked in the backstage door, and he was in the middle of a meet and greet, and he turned and he looked at Eddie Webb and he went, "Hey, Eddie, what's going on?" And Eddie Webb was like, "Hey, Coop. Coop?" He called him Coop.
It's like a scene out of Wayne's World.
It totally was. And I was just like, "Okay, Eddie, you got this one. This is cool." And they're like hugging and kissing and everything. And Alice Cooper is like nothing but a nice guy. Totally nice.
Oh,
guy.
Yeah.
He was taking a picture with my wife, and she's like, "Can I kiss you when we take the picture?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm like, "Hey, easy there, buddy." And so she's kissing him. And then my friend Dave, it was Dave Lee on AAF. His name is Dave Anderson now, but he was taking the picture and he couldn't get his camera to work. And my wife has her lips on Alice Cooper's face. And then, it was like 30 seconds. And then he's like, "You know what? Any longer, you're going to have to buy me dinner, honey." Like, hey, I don't care if you're Alice Cooper.
Oh, man. And it's so great that Alice Cooper doesn't even need makeup anymore.
Right? Yeah, he just looks scary naturally. Right.
I was trying to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that too, Josh, because he's got the that Detroit documentary.
Yeah, Detroit Stories or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I got to give a plug to Mistress Carrie and the Mistress Carrie podcast, because he went and talked to her.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to talk to us.
Well, I'll see if we can still get him. What the hell, right?
Right.
So yeah,
actually,
I don't even know how we got here, but
I know because I said Iron Maiden needs to make beer, and I didn't know that they do.
Oh, right, there you go. Alice Cooper needs to make beer. I don't think there's an Alice Cooper beer out there, but then again, he's a recovering alcoholic, so that's probably not the best choice.
Yeah, let's not get that back into Vinny's life.
While you were telling that story, I was fucking tailing a fucking student driver, and my question was, should I start honking at the poor kid? I didn't do it though.
It's only a learning experience, Isaiah. It gets them ready for the real world.
You can honk as long as you're wearing your mask.
Yeah. I mean, is everybody on the road really nice? No. So the more of an asshole you can be, and I know you're a fucking asshole. That's just better. That's just better training for them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like
I was trailing him, and I had the camera on him, so I wasn't sure if I should, but you were telling a good story, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Think of it like you're Clint Eastwood in Heartbreak Ridge, and you're firing live rounds at your platoon while they're training. Okay.
There you go.
Right.
Yep. Tighten up. You'll get better if I fucking shoot at you. Jesus Christ.
Keeps you honest.
You guys, I got this gig coming up. See all this shit? Look at shit.
Oh my God.
What is that?
This is a fucking old.
It's a turntable.
DJ rig. Well, it's for CDs, but you can actually like scratch with your CDs. Like this.
Are you doing someone's wedding? What are you doing?
No, yeah, right. It's hilarious. Last time I DJ'd a live event, I was using records. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
With milk crates and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, man. I had like an old school PVPA with giant cabinets and shit like that. But I on 420's coming up, and the folks at Resonate here in Worcester. This is a gratuitous plug. The folks at Resonate here in Worcester are having a little event at their dispensary. So if anyone wants to come by, I'll be DJing from noon to 4.
No way.
Playing only the finest and stoner tunes.
Can we get high?
No, you cannot smoke anywhere on any premise of any cannabis dispensary in the state of Massachusetts.
Can I get high before and come in? High?
Well, as long as you're responsible and you take an Uber or a Lyft or some kind of ride share.
So that means Isaiah can't.
No, not at all.
I'll just stay at your house, Mike. We'll be fine.
But on 420, they're having a bunch of specials and things like that, and I'll be DJing in the cannabis dispensary. And I borrowed this from their marketing director, Melissa Farrington. I was like, well, I don't really have a DJ rig, and she goes, I got one. You can use. I'm like, oh, you Jay, and like, and
that's
like,
awesome.
She gives it to me, and then I found a Madonna and a Whitney Houston CD in the.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
Queens.
But I'll be playing, I'll be playing stoner tunes. Bro.
So where is this? It's in, what's it called?
It's Resonate Cannabis Dispensary in
it's on the hat.
Worcester. It's right off of 146 in Worcester. So you come on by, say hello, and then later that night, I don't know if they have the tickets ready yet, but they're doing a cannabis infused dinner.
Oh yeah.
Really?
They have like 5 chefs and it's a 5-course meal, and I'll be hosting that.
I feel like a lot of Josh's anxiety would go away if he would just try some level of cannabis. Not
Probably, but I don't. I was gonna say I don't know anyone that sells at a dispensary. But
Gosh, you need some kind of low THC, high CBD hybrid.
now is that the kind that's like Adderall? Like
Yes.
remember? Yes. I need that.
It kind of helps you focus and it settles you down, and you know what? You need that, or maybe even like 100%, or even like a 1% THC kind of mix thing with the rest CBD.
Just a little something. Just a
you. I say you need a fucking stand for your phone or something, or you
Dude,
need to stop driving
I was-
on the podcast.
I wasn't intending on being out today. I went to
Yeah,
see
you
a
got-
client, and I'm like, it's
Jesus
like 10
Christ.
of 2. I'm like, I got to do a podcast. Fuck
Where
it, I'm
are
doing it
you?
in the car?
Where are you?
Looks like
I'm
Winchester.
driving back from Bedford. I went to see the boys at the VA today.
Okay, where are you right now?
Oh, right this minute? Hold
Yeah.
on.
Looks
I'm
like a nice
behind-
neighborhood.
I'm behind some fucking Jack Pony in
We
Marblehead.
mean what
Oh,
town?
you're in Marblehead.
Oh, she's waving at me. This lady's like, "You're filming me." Yes, I am. I'm gonna chase you down.
That's right. I'm a Russian cab driver. I'm totally filming you.
I will follow you. That's German, actually. Sorry.
Actually,
Oh, wow.
speaking of 420, you know I have to bring this up. Someone's birthday that day.
Is that the birth of your child?
No, Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th,
Wow. Show is over. This is usually when the shows end. Are we already done?
1889. No, it's just, I got to drop some little history tidbits in there.
You're obsessed with that guy. Yeah. Hold on.
What?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Well, I guess people don't like history.
No. I would leave it on, but I can't shut it off because I'm in the car.
I think Shu actually left. What? All right. Well, I guess that was the end of the episode. Apparently, people can't handle little history tidbits. Anyway, I would just like to say thank you. After Hitler comment, as usual, a thank you to our sponsors. Garage Doors Plus. Breaking the Ice podcast is brought to you by Garage Doors Plus. Chris Riggs over at Garage Doors Plus has been a supporter of us since the beginning. Go to garageDoorsPlus.com or call 617-458-1148 to get your free estimate. They are New England's premier garage door company. Again, that is gdplus.com. They open doors when you can't. And Breaking the Ice podcast would like to welcome our newest sponsor, Basil's Pizza and Subs. Go check them out at basilspizza.com. That's Basil's with a Z. They are located in Holliston, Mass. at 1568 Washington Street in the Village Plaza off of Route 16. Call 508-429-5995 to order, or you can order online. And you get a 5% discount when you order online from their new menu. My personal favorite item off their new menu, the deconstructed jalapeno popper pizza. And jalapeno popper pizza is not only just fun to say, it's fun to eat. It does come out a little spicy though. And anyway, go check out Basil's Pizza in Holliston. Again, that's Basil's with a Z, pizza.com. We are also brought to you by Invoke Media Group. Breaking the Ice is also brought to you by Invoke Media Group. They run breakingtheicepodcast.com, so go there and check that out. It speaks for itself. We don't know what we're doing, but Nicole from Invoke Media makes it look like we do know what we're doing. So go to invoke-media.com. They specialize in brand development, graphic design, content-driven strategies to help grow your brand. Again, go to invoke-media.com. And we are also brought to you by Holliston Meadows Pet Resort. They're on Instagram. Go follow them at Holliston Meadows and go check out their website, hollistonmeadows.com. They're so exclusive, they only take pets. Yeah, okay. As always, we are brought to you by Wolfpack Coffee. It's an amazing coffee. It's the only coffee I've really been drinking since the coronavirus hit, and I'm going to continue drinking it. Our friend Matt at Wolfpack Coffee has been supplying us with fuel, and I really highly suggest you go to wolfpackcoffeeusa.com and get your own fuel. Wolfpack Coffee is veteran-owned, veteran-run, #run with the pack. Go check out Wolfpack Coffee USA.